Hey, good morning, everybody. I am live this morning from Dallas, Texas. I'm going to be attending the Housing Wire AI Summit later today. It's across the way here at George H.W. Bush's Presidential Museum. I haven't been there, so I'm really looking forward to going to see the venue. But I'm also looking forward to the topic today. I'm gonna wrap up with that, but I thought I'd throw out a few just just random topics before I get to it. Let's start with the CrowdStrike computer disruption. I like the way it's been called. We were fearing Y2K when computers, changed over in the year 2000, that they didn't have the right ones and zeros to program in that date, and then we'd have massive outage. And instead, here we are at 2024, and we kind of have that Armageddon we expected at the turn of the millennia, and that is 8.5 million computers were affected by a CrowdStrike update to their Falcon sensor. Now, they think they have a fix, and most computers are back online. The challenge is that the fix is to manually turn off every computer that's been affected, put it in safe mode, and then go through a protocol to remove the update. Interestingly, most of those computers don't have a user, and to be able to go to safe mode and remove the update, you have to attach a keyboard and a mouse to the computer. And a lot of these are built-in systems that don't have that type of hardware application. So there's been a lot of problems trying to get the bug out of it. I can tell you, we're told that the disruption is over, but it's not. I flew yesterday. I flew here to Dallas from Scottsdale. And if you had checked in during the weekend for your flight and printed your ticket, by the time you got to the airport on Monday, your ticket was no longer good. The information you got had totally been scrambled. So half the people getting on our plane yesterday had a ticket that wasn't good and had to be reseated. And you can imagine how much joy that brought to the people on the plane. I came out on a 787, which seats a heck of a lot of folks. And man, it took American Airlines, the gate people. They had like 6 people at our gate trying to get people this figured out. They did a great job. But man, folks were pretty frustrated. We got out late, and that's just one example. Police stations, hospitals, news stations. News stations couldn't broadcast for a while. ESPN couldn't broadcast. News papers had a hard time getting out their editions. Of course, in mortgage land, we had a lot of problems because we had a lot of technology that was affected. Encompass was affected, all sorts of different platforms. And CrowdStrike provides, security, services to about half the top 1,000 companies. And so the problem with fixing this CrowdStrike problem, it's which platform did it affect? Because it didn't affect all platforms. So you got to figure out, is it your Microsoft Azure that went down, or what went down? And then how do you reverse engineer to fix it? And then how do you get somebody to manually go and do it? So there's been all sorts of challenges. And that brings me to the next topic. The last few days, I've been having a hard time figuring out what to post online, because it just seems like there's no news. But is that really true? There's no news? It might be the exact opposite. There's overwhelmingly amount of news. And usually it's just the news that we're focusing on today isn't news that I typically post about. And so I haven't been posting. I couldn't find something to post about today, and I don't want to artificially post stuff. And so you got to check yourself. Is it my mentality, or is there really just a lack of news, or it's just the dominant news I don't want to talk about? And I was thinking about this morning. I'm going, well, purchase volume continues to wane. Refi volume is exploding. Is exponentially up. Inventory is up. Interest rates are improving. We have new AVM, guidance. I mean, I guess there's plenty of news out there. I just, for some reason, it's not capturing my attention, and I don't want to necessarily talk about it. And that's just kind of the mindset of Americans right now, with all the other things that are surrounding us, all the other things that are happening. Just, AVM technology doesn't seem as important. So As I mentioned, I'm here in Dallas. I'm looking forward to going to the AI conference. Had dinner with a few people last night. Really enjoyed the dinner. Had great conversation. Super intelligent people. Learned a whole bunch. But somebody asked me, why the heck am I here? Like, what am I doing at an AI conference? And I really simply answered, I'm really curious how companies in the mortgage space and real estate space are using AI, because we hear them say all the time. I've been to a lot of seminars this year or conferences this year, and you hear speakers from the stage going, "Yes, our company is deploying AI," and they speak in very general, high altitude terms, and I don't understand how. Like, there's nothing actionable. I couldn't go to a company and go, "Hey, you need to deploy this AI." Like, I don't see that, So I'm hoping here at the conference that we learn exactly what they mean by AI and how they're using it, and is it available, off the shelf for from some mid-sized company. And that's something else. People use the word artificial intelligence incorrectly because they interchange it just with computing, right? And they don't understand artificial intelligence. And it might be I know there's an article in Housing Wire yesterday about Guild rolling out Guild GTP, and I know that United Wholesale Mortgage has, UVM, GPT, and that Rocket has made huge strides, and it definitely is using artificial intelligence. And Varun, I believe, is the CEO of Rocket, is speaking here today, or at least the CTO is speaking here today. But a lot of times they're just talking about computing power. Like, if you put all the guidelines into a computer and then it tells you whether your borrower meets guidelines, that's not artificial intelligence. You've just programmed the logarithms how somebody qualifies. Like, that's not AI. Not that it isn't useful. It's just good computing, right? Or if you're using OCR, optical character recognition, to read documents, to upload that to digitize data, that's not artificial intelligence. That's OCR. Or if you're using machine learning to teach a computer, you're running millions or billions of case studies through a computer to teach it, should it be X or should it be Y? I don't know if machine learning really is artificial intelligence. You're just having to build its own logarithms. And so I'm curious, the artificial intelligence in my mind is that magic thing where the computer starts to think for itself, right? And I don't know if we're having that yet. And I don't know, when people say artificial intelligence, I think they're saying technology, but I want to see, regardless of whether it's artificial intelligence or new technology, I want to see how it all can make us more efficient, less expensive, which is a really good question. I've been having this conversation with a few industry leaders lately about a couple of surprising statistics. I was reading a paper that's about to be published, and it cited that average revenue in the mortgage industry, average revenue is or the revenue in the mortgage industry is above average right now, meaning our revenues are above historical averages. We're getting a higher revenue, whatever that number is, 350 bips, 400 bips, 325 bips, whatever it is, that revenue today is higher than our historical average. Yet we're still losing 25 basis points for every loan we do. So how can we be at a high revenue mark and still be losing money? Like, there's a problem there. There's something wrong with that equation. And in that same article I was reading, which I think will be published this week, average productivity per full-time employee in the mortgage industry, just take total volume divided by all the full-time employees, it's 1.1. It's really, really low. At the peak of the pandemic, it was 3.1. So we're a third of the productivity, which really begs the question. There's a problem here. How is it that we've been investing billions of dollars into technology, and this technology that's supposed to be our savior, that technology that's supposed to make us more efficient, to make us faster, is we're getting slower and less efficient and spending more money. So now we have high revenue but higher losses, and we have tons of technology but we have unproductive people. How can that be? And that's one of the things you really have to guard yourself against, is that a lot of owners, sweet folks, have become disillusioned with technology because technology has lied to them. All these technology companies come in and they sell you their roadmap, and roadmap means we're going to sell you something we don't have. Like, our technology is going to do X someday, and here's what it's going to look like. Now, today it does Y, not X, but buy it today so that you can be a leader to get to X. Does that make sense? And so we invest in technology that doesn't work, and it never really quite gets there. There's one of my favorite technology. I won't mention them. It's a great idea. It's a great technology. Their 2-year roadmap is awesome, you know, and we've been in business with them for 5 or 6 years. They have the same 2-year roadmap, exactly the same. As a matter of fact, we were negotiating the last contract. We said, look, we'll pay you full price once you achieve your 2-year contract from 5 years ago. And until then, we're going to pay you half price because this is ridiculous. And that's been true with every technology. So it just hasn't delivered its promise. So as an owner, you start going, gosh, I'm not going to invest millions of dollars in technology where I have low adoption, right? I'm not going to invest all that money in technology that doesn't work. And so then what happens is you turn you steal yourself away from making more investments. And that's a really precarious thing to do in today's environment, because I do believe we're on the precipice of technology that's going to start to deliver its promise. I do think it's a change. I think that we will start to see efficiency gains, and I think that we'll start to see huge pickups in technology as it does what it's promised to do. But if you've just become frustrated and jaded and gone, look, it never works. I'm not going to get stung again. Shame on me. If that's what your choice is, you can be left behind. But how can you not have that mindset? It's super hard. And then when you look, I was having another conversation with somebody, when you look at technology's failure, where did the failure come from? Was it a failure in leadership? Like, we didn't lead our people on how to use it. We didn't teach them and train them, tell them the benefits, get them excited about it, set standards. Standards is a big thing. You use it or you don't work here kind of thing. Because in the mortgage industry, we don't like to do that. We just kind of let people do whatever they want, which seems kind of dumb, because if we go and try to build the very best platform with the most value proposition, like we invest a ton of money, we hope our people work at our company to be able to, benefit from those value propositions. But that's another topic. So, but is it leadership? We just aren't leading to technology. We don't understand ourselves. We don't get immersed into it, so we don't preach it right. Is it our employees? I was talking about, we were having a conversation at dinner last night about fulfillment technology and some of the, failures of fulfillment technology. And the first failure is the technology is often bought to be able to replace people, right? Because, you're spending money to get more efficient, so you need fewer people. Well, those people don't want to be part of that, that group, right? They want to be ran out of jobs, so they resist. They become a natural roadblock to you rolling out the technology that you need, and so is it employees? Same thing with, adoption. In the industry, great adoption is around 39%, which means the majority of your employee of your sales folks won't use technology you buy. And so is it leadership? Is it an employee problem? Or is it just the technology sucked? It was overpromised. It's a big question, but the thing I would just encourage everybody is you just can't turn your back on technology. You have to educate yourself. I'm hoping to learn today, and I'll share with you maybe tomorrow, key learnings maybe the next day. It depends on how travel is and all sorts of stuff, but what's on the horizon? What's working? Some things are super exciting. I think listening to, I think there are things that companies are deploying in the AI world that are great today. And the thing I'm going to be more curious about, is it available to everybody? Or do you have to be a mega company that needs your own case studies and you need to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to create an AI platform that helps your company? Or when will, third-party vendors be able to deliver that to other players in the mortgage space? That's what I hope to find out. And I hope to hear not just in general terms, but I hope to get a playbook. Like, technology X does, function Y, and everybody can access it. It does seem exciting. I think technology from a customer, creating a customer, universe. I love when AI listens to customer conversations and picks up things that the salesperson misses. I love technology as a coaching tool. Listening to salespeople to coach them on what they could have done better, or what they did great, or what parts they missed. I love the technology, listening to the customer and creating personalized journeys with the company, and long-term, lifelong relationship journeys, which I really like. I like the technology that can start to better partner loan officers, consumers with the possibilities. Like if a consumer just kind of gives us their overall world, and a computer can tell us what's the best loan program, what's the best financial plan, by getting the right amount of inputs. I like that. I like technology that someday will actually automate, fulfillment, so it brings speed and certainty, and it will come. It will come with reliability someday. But anyway, that's what I'm doing here in Dallas for a couple of days at the Housing Wire AI conference. Housing Wire, Clayton, thanks for putting this on. Really looking forward to it. I think there's 10 presentations today from sweet people, CTOs, rolling out the technology. Let's look under the hood, see what they got. If it's interesting, I promise I'll share with you guys. That's it. I hope everybody has a great day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Hopefully this CrowdStrike, Falcon thing gets past us and we get back to business as usual. Have a great day. Thank you.